What's good, family? Chiefdryno's live. Welcome to my channel. I am Chiefdryno. My channel is all about Pan-Afrikanism, okay, the global unification of everyone of African descent, okay, wherever you find yourself. Okay, if you acknowledge that Africa is your motherland, okay, you need to claim it, okay. We Africans need to come together, okay. It's as simple as that, okay. If we want a place in on a global stage, okay, we need to unite, okay. It's common sense, okay. It's actually common sense. We need to come together, okay. This is what's happening on the continent. The AU is being pushed forward. There is a agenda 2063 to promote regional integration, continental integration of all African states, okay, by the year 2063. So if you haven't seen that yet, okay, it's pinned to my channel. When you go to the homepage of my channel, you can find that article and read on it. All right, so it's something that's going to happen. Okay, the African leaders or heads of states of African leaders have now come together or have come to the senses that the only way that Africa is going to win, okay, or have its place or her place on a global stage is for Africa to unite. Okay, so we've seen this, okay, and this year has been a very, very awesome year for Africa and Black people worldwide. Okay, the year of return 2019. Okay, Ghana just celebrated awarding hundreds of people with visas. Citizenship. Okay, citizenship in Ghana. Okay, primarily African Americans. Okay, those who participated in the year of return, they got awarded citizenship. Okay, so a lot of people are unaware of these things happening. This is why we do this. This is why I do this. Okay, and I said before on O'Shea's channel that I want to be a champion for Pan-Afrikanism. So this is what I do. All right. So I was listening to Shakara, okay, the brother Shakara's show with he interviewed Obadele Kambon. Obadele Kambon is a professor in the University of Ghana. He's an African American who wouldn't stop until he got his Guinean citizenship. Okay, he's now a professor in the University of Ghana teaching African history and literature and so on and so forth. So he was interviewed, and I know a lot of his history about Africa, but this man is so knowledgeable. He studied the linguistics of African people and links it all the way to beyond ancient Egypt. And Egypt, Egyptians didn't call themselves ancient Egyptians didn't call themselves Egyptians. They called themselves Kemetians, or people of the Black Land. Okay, Kemet literally meaning the Black Land. So I think it's Kemetu, meaning people of the Black Land, or another name for Africa is that, okay, the land of the blacks. All right. So sorry, I'm being distracted by some notifications here. Yeah, so I really enjoy that. If you haven't seen it, okay, visit Shakara's channel, okay, or Obibini to me, okay, which basically means Black Power, okay, in Akan, an African language, a Guinean language to be specific. So yeah, I am quite elated right now. Like I'm like high on some good reasons. Okay, I came across some news articles today after work. Okay, by the way, happy Friday, happy weekend. It is Black Friday. Okay, legendary Black Friday. These people have, capitalism wants to capitalize on every opportunity to make money. So throughout Australia, we do have the Black Friday sales. Every company is performing the Black Friday sales now. Like you go to all these car dealers, they all pushing black and white cars, black cars, gray cars, so it's the black event sales. Anything black will be on sale. So I find that very, very interesting. When you talk about Black Friday, it's a very sad day in the history of Australia, where bushfire ravaged the bush country. Okay, destroy a lot of property and kill people. So it's also a day of mourning. Okay, when we say Black Friday, it takes us back into sorrowful times. But yeah, moving on. Happy Black Friday again. And how did you guys, those of you in the United States, how did you celebrate the Thanksgiving Day? Okay. The not so happy Thanksgiving Day. Okay, so I do have an article on that as well from Ancient Origins. Okay, one of my news sources. Okay, I love reading ancient history and research and stuff like that. So you can find a lot of research on that. So yeah, all the articles that I present to you, the links will be in the description box, so you can catch it. Okay, so I do have two people here. Please let me know who you are. Okay, let me know who you are. I just had one subscriber from a beautiful African sister. Thank you for subscribing. Okay, let me know who you are. The Niger boy, Mr. The Niger boy. All right, I hope I got it. I got it right this time, didn't I? So yeah, thank you for your support, brother. I'm happy to have you here. I should invite you to come on soon if you have time, if you have some time to join me. Yeah, so yeah, I had some fresh crop. Okay, I had some fresh crop. So Christmas parties tomorrow. I'll be going to some Christmas party, a work Christmas party. So we'll be doing that. Yeah, so I had a haircut. All right. Let's see. So yeah, let me know what you think about my haircut. All right. Let me know if I'm fresh enough. All right. So yeah, someone just subscribed. Please let me know who you are so I can check you out. Okay, I can check you out and support you as well. So this is what we do. Okay, we support one another. All right. So without much ado, okay, it's Friday. I want to go chillax. So I'm gonna go through these news articles. I do have a lot actually. African Watch. I do have a lot of articles to present to you, but let me just go through the headlines. Okay. The first one here is Brits arrested. So 3 British nationals were arrested in Mauritius. Okay, the motherland. Okay, Mauritius, the motherland. You taking drugs to Africa? Okay. All right, so yeah, three of them got arrested for excreting $1.3 million worth of drugs. Okay, Mauritius is a very, very beautiful country, and the population is very small. I think there are only 4 million people, and immigration in Mauritius is very, very strict. Okay, you cannot take, they screen you for diseases and everything, before you even step foot on a step foot out of the airport. You get screened for, even if you're carrying seeds, foreign plants and stuff like that, you get screened. So these guys taking drugs to Mauritius, they must be very, very crazy. But yeah, nonetheless, okay, if you're clean, Mauritius is very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful place. It's paradise. Okay. If you haven't seen anything on Mauritius, check out my archives. You see videos on Mauritius, and I made a video on Mauritius Independence Day. Speaking about Mauritius, they just elected a new prime minister. So I mean, there was the election. Okay, so Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Kumar Jagannath wins election. Okay, so that's news about Mauritius. If I do have time, I'll jump into that as well. Okay, but let's just to let you know. And I do have an article from GhanaWeb.com. It says that how democracy collapsed Ghana. It's a very, very, very interesting read. I didn't read all of it, so much of the articles I just brushed through them because I do not have enough time to read through them. So a lot of the information here will be new to me as well as I present them to you. And what else we do have here? Also from Ghana Web opinion, history of Volta, Togoland. So I'll share a little bit about that, and maybe next week I'll delve into it much better. So Mr. Naja Boy says, full squad coming to raid you soon. Yeah, bring them on, brother. Bring them on. I'm not scared. Bring them on. All right, bring them over. Yeah. So let's see what else is here. You know, there's a lot of rain in Africa now. Okay, so we do have 250,000 people affected by Djibouti flash floods. So Djibouti is in the Horn of Africa. You know, it's sort of like a desert, but it's flooding in the desert. It's flooding in the desert, family. So yeah, I mean, it's excellent. Africa is getting rain. So yeah, we welcome the rain, family. We welcome the rain. So I'll share a little bit about that as well. And also, Esias Afwerki from Eritrea is calling out Qatar for destabilizing Sudan. Okay, and if you followed my channel, you would have seen how Qatar is involved in destabilizing Libya. You see, and Qatar supports the UN-backed government or the United States-backed government in Libya. Okay, and how Saudi Arabia counteracts that with Russia. So that's an interesting. All the articles from Africa News are very, very short. So yeah. Another one, 47 Nigerians plead innocent to homosexuality charge in 2018. So very interesting case here. Homosexuality doesn't fly at all in Africa like that. Okay, it's a crime in Nigeria. All right. So yeah, be careful. All right, be careful. You do not want it. All right. And also Benin sacks EU envoy for meddling in domestic affairs. So this is what they do, right? This is what they do, meddling in African politics. Okay, Europeans. All right, so they've been called out, and we're very, very thankful for the internet. Okay, the internet has to be the greatest liberator for Africans, I mean, worldwide. All right, majority of Africans have mobile phones. Okay, smart mobile phones. They can access the internet and catch on with whatever is going on in the world, and this is beautiful. Okay, this is beautiful. So I think I have read out the headlines. So without much ado, I am going to start with the articles. Which one should I take first? I know the Thanksgiving one is a bit too long, so maybe let me smash it. I will smash the Thanksgiving one first. All right. So yeah. So yeah, if you're coming through, okay, please like the stream, okay. Share it, okay. Invite your friends to come over, okay. This is social media. Let's have a conversation. Let us network, okay. Let us network in the name of Pan-Afrikanism, in the name of Ubuntu, okay. Black power, Black African power, okay. Black Pan-African power. All right, worldwide, okay. You know, subscribe, okay. Subscribe, support the channel, okay, and help us grow. All right, help us grow. So leave me a comment in the chat as well, okay, if you want to help on. Let's see. Chiefdryno. All right, so my email is in the chat, okay. Yeah, if you want to hop on, send me an email, okay, and I'll let you on. So without much ado, I am going to go straight to the articles. Now, let me check my emails here first. All right, so yeah, if you're interested in hopping on, please send me an email and I'll bring you on. All right, I'll bring you on. Okay, so without much ado, I'm going to go straight to the articles. The first one I'd like to bring on is the Thanksgiving situation, okay, the Thanksgiving myth, okay. All right, so you know, I'll let the article do much of the talking so I can move a bit quicker. Okay, so if you can see on your screen there. Okay. All right, if you're joining me for the first time, let me know who you are. All right, let me know how you're doing. Okay, I am Chiefdryno. So this is ancient origins. Okay, one of my sources, news sources, I love reading. So this is one of your you know, popular images about the Thanksgiving scenario, but this is not what happened. This is not what happened. Okay, Europeans came and killed off the Native Americans. Okay, killed them off. Okay, killed them off. Okay, when Native Americans welcomed them in and gave them food, medicine, and shelter. Okay, that was a Thanksgiving. They killed them off. All right, so Europeans always lie about history. Never believe anything written down about African history or indigenous people's history by the European. Never believe it. Okay, always take it with a grain of salt. All right, use both sides of your brain every time. Okay, when Europeans talk about history, they're never sure. They never give you a certainty about history. All right, it's always speculations. Okay, and it's often debunked. Okay, so yeah, boom. So yeah, check out Obadele Kambon. He has, you know, adept history on ancient Egypt, okay, and how ancient Egyptians were indigenous Africans, black people, all right, black people throughout every, throughout every ethnic group in Africa. Okay, black people are, or Africans are referred to as black people, like black people or human beings. Okay, throughout, or people of the land. Okay, people of the land, and referring to Africa, the land of Africa being black. Okay, so people that came from the land. Okay, this is what it literally means. All right, so you can see literally, Kemet literally means, the black land. Okay, and Kemetu means people of the black land. So yeah. Anyway, so check out Obadele Kambon. Okay, I'll see if I can find that link and pin it to this stream as well, so you can have some context there. So yeah, boom. So yeah, never take European history, okay, history about indigenous people, don't believe it, okay. As I stated in my last stream before, that because we indigenous people, or people of indigenous descent or African descent, we do not control, or we do not have the rights to history. People Europeans who conquered us have the right to it, and they can write history the way they see it fit, and they're always going to paint themselves as goodies, or the good guys, okay. Or especially the British like to say they came to bring civilization to the world, okay, but they murdered everybody in Tasmania. They nearly wiped out the Aboriginal Australians, okay. They wiped out the Native Americans as well. So I mean, never believe the history, okay. Always, okay, read it with doubt in your head. So yeah, without much ado, I'm gonna go straight to the article now. Okay, today is the 29th of November, 2019. It's a Friday, Black Friday, hashtag Black Friday. But this article was on the 27th of November, which Thanksgiving Day is, I think, 27th and 28th of November, depending on which part of the Americas you find yourself. This is what it is, okay. But yeah, as is, this article was on the 27th of November 2019. So ancient origin, okay. American Thanksgiving origins and roots in the world, in the old world. As the leaves turn beautiful golden and fiery red hues, the weather gets colder and people prepare for the oncoming winter in the Northern Hemisphere. Americans enjoy the annual celebration of Thanksgiving. It is time to be with family and friends to remember the history of the country's founding fathers, founders hundreds of years ago, and to be grateful for all they have. In effect, it is a time to count blessings and enjoy the bounty of the year, with a large focus on traditional foods such as roasted turkey and seasonal vegetables. Now observed on the fourth Thursday in November, annually, the history of Thanksgiving is taught to American children. For some families, it is the biggest celebration of the year and the start of the holiday season, including Christmas and New Year. Yeah. Okay, so this is a myth they keep perpetuating and teaching children, right? Just as they teach the children that Christopher Columbus found the United States of America, which is a lie. Okay, he never stepped foot in the mainland. Okay, he only stepped foot in the island of Hispaniola. Okay, which is now Haiti and bloody Dominican Republic, who don't like to see themselves as people of African descent. But moving on, the holiday is considered a vital part of American history and identity, but much of the popular story told every year about Thanksgiving origins is said to be full of historical inaccuracies. Okay, what are the real origins of this holiday harvest festival? So this article went on talking about a whole lot of harvest festivals, including Egypt and stuff like that. So yeah, moving on. So blah blah blah. The true meaning of, so the article is linked to, it's in the description box. You can check it out. The true meaning of paganism, the true story of Pocahontas, as not told by Disney. Okay, the Columbus myth. Okay, so you can check that out as well. Okay, so the popular tale of settlers on the Mayflower. Okay, the traditional story recounts the hardships suffered and celebrations had by the original colonists, also known as pilgrims, when they first came to North America from Europe. It is sparsely documented by Thanksgiving Day, but Thanksgiving Day is often traced to an occasion at Plymouth Plantation in 1621, where religious refugees from England shared a feast with local Native Americans. Okay. So the small ship Mayflower departed from Plymouth, England in 1620, filled with religious separatists seeking a new home to practice their faith, as well as enterprise and people looking to start a new life of land ownership and prosperity. After an arduous 66-day journey, they landed and established a village named Plymouth in Massachusetts. Okay. So look at that. All right, so this is a depiction of that event. Okay, so they have their mothership there, and they landed by boat. Okay, so landing by pilgrims in 1877. Yeah, but that's late. Okay, the United States was frequented by the Spanish. Okay, Spanish in 1570s, I think 1579, 1571. The Spanish were already in Florida, in the east coast of the now the United States. Okay, and they were already taking Africans, okay, into those parts of the United States or the Americas. All right, the Spanish were already doing that. Okay, so Queasy, hi family. I haven't seen you in a while. What's happening? Long time no see. Well, I appreciate you joining me. Okay, so the North American winter was especially hard for the newcomers, and their harvest largely failed, resulting in half of the original 102 passengers dying of exposure, starvation, scurvy, and disease. Okay, the Native Americans are said to have surprised the pilgrims by greeting them in English. A member of the tribe, Squanto, had been previously kidnapped by an Englishman and learned the language during his captivity. The story goes that Squanto, a Wampanoag and members of the Abenaki and Potozet tribes, sorry if I butchered that, tribes assisted the pilgrims in learning how to survive in a new land or new world by cultivating indigenous plants, extracting sap from maple trees, catching fish, and more. Alliances were forged between pilgrims and local tribes, creating a 50-year example of peace between colonists and Native Americans. That is BS. Okay, that is bullshit. Okay, they came and murdered them up. Okay, they never established any peace. So the first Thanksgiving, a year later in 1621, the colonists. This is 100 years. 100 years before. I mean, these people landed. Okay, the Spanish were already here. Africans were already here before English people set foot in the Americas. Africans were already here, right? Africans were already here, and even going back, Africans were traversing the Atlantic Ocean, trading with Native Americans, okay, intermarrying, okay, intermarrying. I've got my DNA to prove it. I am part Native American, okay, because my dad is African American. It's in there. It's in the DNA. Okay, Africans and Native Americans have always been mixing. It goes back a long, long time. We kind of put dates on it. Anyway, so a year later in 1621, the colonists were successful in their harvest and had a bounty of corn or maize. It is said Governor William Bradford invited Native American friends and allies to a celebratory feast, now considered the first Thanksgiving, which lasted for 3 days. Yeah, right. After that, the Native Americans died. Okay, they gave them blankets, they gave them these and that, and it was filled with fleas and lice and bloody diseases, flu and all that, and killed off the Native Americans. Okay, so here, this is a painting, a depiction of the first Thanksgiving at Plymouth, 1914, public domain. Okay, let's see who's here. Zodiac is it Zodiac 50? Yeah, fake history, family. don't take it for for verbatim. Okay, always decipher this. Okay, we already know this is a lie. Never believe any history given to you by Europeans. Okay, it's all half truths. Okay, never believe it. All right, so yeah, we never believe this. Okay, so yeah, perhaps surprising to Americans now, we celebrate with turkey. Okay, that's why the turkey is in there. Okay, potatoes and seasonal vegetables such as beans, corn, squash, and cranberries, followed by desserts of pumpkin pie and cake. The first Thanksgiving is believed by historians to have had a very different menu of spiced dishes prepared in a traditional Native American style with game including venison, wild ducks, swans, and potentially cod, shellfish, eel, and even lobsters. Okay, so I have doubts there. Okay, it's winter. Okay, it's winter. These birds don't stick around in winter. They fly south. Okay, if you know anything about winter, okay, birds always fly south when it's winter. They go to where it's warm. Okay, so this history here is flawed. Okay, this history here is flawed, right? It's flawed. Don't believe this. So here in the picture here, wild turkey, the bird most associated with American Thanksgiving, which becomes the roast and centerpiece of the meal. It has become custom that the president of the USA annually spares a turkey's life for pardoning the bird. By pardoning the bird, okay, which is bullshit. So the divisive Thanksgiving myth. Okay, so here's the myth, right? Not all scholars or Native American groups agree with the complete popularized history of the first Thanksgiving. However, it is still debated whether the celebration of Plymouth was really the first. Historians point to other ceremonies by European settlers which predate a 1621 event. And like I stated before, the Spanish were already on the continent of I mean, in the New World, okay, or North America in 1500s. Okay, 1500s. So yeah, Spanish explorer Pedro Menendez de Avila in St. Augustine, Florida, is said to have invited members of the Timucua tribe to feast and hold a mass thanking God in 1565. Yeah, so additionally, when British settlers reached Berkeley, 100 on Virginia's James River, they proclaimed the date December 4th, 1619 as a day of thanksgiving to Almighty God. Okay. They have a Bible in one hand and a sword in one hand. Okay. Yeah. Some Native American groups feel American Thanksgiving narrative paints a deceptively sunny portrait of relations between the Pilgrims and Wampanoag people, masking the long and bloody history of conflict between Native Americans and European settlers that resulted in the deaths of millions. No, 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 no. That resulted in the wiping out of Native Americans. Okay, wiping out. Okay, as such, it is commemorated by protesters as National Day of Mourning. Okay, so similarly in Australia, when we have Australia Day, which is on January 26th, okay, we call it Invasion Day. Okay, but it's the day that commemorates the landing of the first European or British ships on the coast of Australia, precisely in Sydney. I think Sydney Cove and Manly Beach. I think that is the original landing spot of the first arriving fleet from England. Okay, in the name of the Queen. And till date, okay, we celebrate that day as Australia Day, and that day brings a lot of sorrow to Aboriginal people, as that day marked the downfall and the day they were nearly wiped out. Okay, all right. So that day marked the invasion of Aboriginal people. So here's another painting here. Okay, there's another painting. Okay, that depicted Native Americans in this sort of outfit. Well, let's see. Okay, it's winter. You don't expect Native Americans dressed like this in winter. All right, so this alone is fake history too. All right. Right, sound is good. I just wanted to check the sound there. Diorama showing Native Americans meeting with European settlers. All right, so cool. So you have here the Native American coming forth to meet the European settlers with food in his hand, or Native people when Native people meet you with leaf in their hand. Okay, it signifies peace. Okay, it signifies they're coming with peace. But look, the Native American is coming with no weapons in his hand, but the European comes with his gun. All right, they always come with their guns. Bear that in mind, okay? So David Silverman, an author and history professor at George Washington University, believes that the Thanksgiving myth, popularly presented every year, is historically inaccurate and glosses over Native American history. He recently told Smithsonian in an interview, okay, using a shared dinner as a symbol of colonialism really has it backward. No question about it. When Wampanoag leader Usami Queen reached out to the English at Plymouth and wanted an alliance with them, but it's not because he was innately friendly. It's because his people have been decimated by an epidemic disease, and Usami Queen sees the English as an opportunity to fend off his tribal rebels. That's not the stuff of Thanksgiving pageants. Okay? The Thanksgiving myth doesn't address the deterioration of this relationship, culminating in one of the most horrific colonial Indian wars on record, King Philip's War, and also doesn't address Wampanoag survival and adaptation over the centuries, which is why they're still here despite the odds. Okay, so I saw something that they're not Indians. Okay, they're not Indians. Okay, they're Mongoloids. Okay, the Native Americans are a mixture of Mongoloids and Africans. All right, they're not Indians. It's Christopher Columbus's mistake, thinking that he got to India, right? Because he saw black people, so he thought it was India. All right. So the article goes on and on talking about ancient Egypt, the ancient Egypt harvest festivals. Okay, throughout Africa you see this celebration, especially in Ghana, because I hail from Ghana. I've seen these festivals as a kid myself. They celebrate this, okay, because people from Ghana migrated from ancient Egypt, by the way. So they carried all these festivals with them, festival of harvest. So check out the rest of the article, okay, in the description box. Okay, so yeah, so there you go. So the ancient roots of harvest festivals stretch back to a time when hunger was a constant threat and societies felt at the mercy of the gods, or fell at the mercy of the gods. Thanksgiving now is thriving modern holiday, or is a thriving modern holiday, a blend of religious and secular, still celebrated around the world in various ways, with honor being paid to bounty of our lives shared among strangers, family, and friends. Okay, so yeah, they've really distorted the history of Thanksgiving or the festival of harvest. All right, which is what it's meant to be. But you do not harvest anything in winter. Okay, when you notice when this article was said when the British first arrived, okay, they arrived in winter. Okay, common sense would tell you that you do not harvest things in winter. Okay, this is common sense. Okay, you do not grow food in winter. All right. So this whole narrative here is false. Okay, it's a lie. Just as Columbus found North America is also a lie. Okay, you do not grow food in winter. Okay, you do not have a feast, Thanksgiving feast in winter. Okay, so I mean, this whole thing is just so stupid. All right, so yeah, moving on. So yeah, thanks for joining me. I am Chiefdryno. If you're new here, please subscribe. Okay, like the stream. Yeah, so that's about Thanksgiving. Okay, the myth. Okay, if you want to read the full article, it's in the description box. You can check it out. All right, so moving on. So I'm going to talk about the Mauritius. Okay, so 3 British nationals, okay, were arrested. Okay, so AfriKaNews.com's articles are very short. So yeah, like the stream, family. Like the stream. Like the stream. Okay, invite your friends to join me. All right. So yeah, it's gonna be my next article. Let me share the screen. Let me know how you're enjoying this stream. Okay, if you're interested in jumping on, please send me an email. Send me an email, chiefdryno@hotmail.com. Okay, you're more than welcome to join. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's Black Friday here in Melbourne, in Australia. There's a lot of sales event going on. The capitalists are using this opportunity to make more money. In a way, it's going to stimulate the global economy or Australia's economy, as everything is basically on sale, 50% sale deals, 30%, and so on and so forth. So yeah. Yeah, so moving on, my next article will be on Mauritius. All right, so these people are so crook. They think that Africa is so corrupt. Okay, Mauritius is one country that you do not want to be corrupt there, because Mauritius has a very strict immigration policy as well. So yeah. All right, so so this article from AfriKaNews.com, okay, Africa Watch. Brits arrested in Mauritius after excreting drugs worth over $1.3 million. All right, so this is very bad. All right, very naughty Brits. Right, 3 British nationals were arrested in Mauritius at the Siwusaga Ramgoolam Airport. Okay, that's the name of the Mauritius airport. I can't pronounce that. It's an Indian name. So yeah, airport with more than 3.3 kilogram of heroin. The suspects purged a total of 282 drug dumplings with an estimated market value of about 50 million Mauritian rupees, 1,350,000. What does that mean? What currency is that? Okay, I'm not too sure on that. They were arrested after the arrival in the Green Channel of the SSR airport by officers of the Anti-Drug and Smuggling Unit and officers of the Revenue Authority. Okay, so Aaron Matthew James, a 42-year-old builder, Ashley Tyranny, a 32-year-old bricklayer, and Asa Garbat, a 37-year-old electrician, all tradies, okay, were suspected of carrying drugs in their stomachs. They were to stay in a bungalow in the seaside resort of Flickon Flack. Okay, I stayed in that resort before. In the west of the Indian Ocean island. Okay. So yeah, it's a very, very popular destination. Okay, if you haven't seen anything on Mauritius, check it out in my channel. Okay, in my archives. So Asa Garbat and Aaron Matthew James traveled to Thailand before traveling to Kenya, where they were joined by Ashley Tyranny. The three men then flew to Mauritius from Kenyan capital. So they want to throw that there as if they got the drugs from Kenya. But yeah, after a medical examination, they were admitted to Jawaharlal Nehru Hospital, where they purged the drugs under police surveillance. So there they are. Okay, these crooks. Okay, these nefarious crooks. Okay, up to no good. All right, so that's the article. It's a very short one. So yeah, shame on them. Okay, shame on them. As criminal as they can look. All right, shame on them. All right. So yeah, Europeans bringing drugs to Africa. Yeah, I'm glad they got caught. All right. So yeah, let me check my email. Anyone here interested in jumping on? Nobody's here. So yeah, this is the Africa Watch. So I'm going through africanews.com and presenting you some news articles that have caught my attention. So yeah. So yeah, what did you think? What did you think about the Brits being caught smuggling drugs into Mauritius? Yeah, we're not gonna have that. Okay, you cannot pollute our people, right? You cannot pollute our people. So yeah, boom. I'm glad they got caught. Yeah, let them rot in jail. All right. Rot in jail. So yeah, moving on. I'm gonna share a news article about Djibouti. It's a little sad, but hey, we welcome the rains. Okay, we welcome the rains in Africa. Yeah. So see, so I mean, everything is changing. Africa is getting rains now. Okay, the Sahara Desert is gonna be green again. All right, the Sahara Desert is gonna be green again. Okay, you know, the ice age is gonna hit Europe again. But before that, okay, Europe is gonna get hot. Okay, Europe is gonna become a desert in the next 200 years, as forecasted. Okay. As forecasted, okay, Europe is gonna become a desert. The ice are already melting in the poles. Iceland has already lost their glaciers. Greenland is losing their glaciers. I mean, Europe is going to be sizzling, okay? But yeah, before that, okay, before the Sahara goes green, okay, this is going to happen. So you see Africa is rising in all aspects, all right? This is what we're seeing, all right? So if you do have scientific mind like I do, okay, you see all these things play out so beautifully, all right? So beautifully. 250,000 people affected by Djibouti flash floods. UN government, okay, the UN and government. So this news is also from africanews.com. Okay, so Djibouti, you can see in the pictures there, people are wading in waters there. Okay, these are people from the Horn of Africa, Djibouti. Okay, these are African people. Okay, don't let anybody lie to you that these are Arabs. Okay, Arabs don't look like this family. These are African people. All right, these people from Djibouti. Okay, this is Eritrea, Ethiopia area, Kenya area, Somalia, okay, Sudan. Okay, these are African people. Don't let anybody lie to you that East Africans are not Africans. Okay, that's a lie. All right, that's a lie. So yeah, boom. So flash flooding has hit the small but strategic East African nation of Djibouti, where the government and United Nations say the equivalent of 2 years' rain fell in a single day. The joint statement Thursday says up to 250,000 people have been affected in recent days in the country on the Red Sea that is home to military bases for the United States, China, and others. Djibouti has been called one of the world's most vulnerable non-island nations in the face of climate change as sea level rises. With heavy rains forecast through the end of this month, the number of affected people could rise. So, I mean, we seeing a lot of rain in Africa. Okay, Kenya, a few weeks ago, Kenya was flooded. Zimbabwe, I mean, Zimbabwe is having rain. Malawi is having rain. Tanzania is having rain, and they all flooding. Sudan is getting rain, right? The desert is flooded. So, I mean, things are changing. Okay? Things are changing. Good things are happening to Africa. We welcome the rain. But yeah, stay safe, family. Stay safe. All right, stay safe. But we welcome the rain. Right. Boom. So that article is done. Okay. We welcome the rain. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So let me know if you're loving the turn of events in Africa. Okay. Everything is happening. Africa's economy is rising. Estimated to be, Africa is the fastest growing economy in the world. Okay. With a joint GDP of about $4 trillion. Okay. I mean, this is one reason we need to unite. Okay. One reason we need to unite, and good things are happening. Next year, I know for a fact, Ghana's GDP is set to rise to about $65 billion. I'm expecting $100 billion by the close of the year. So yeah, especially with the Africa free trade area, or Africa continental free trade agreement or area, going to roll out next year. It's going to improve regional, trade, inter or intra-continental trade amongst African countries. We're going to also see the eco currency roll out in January 2020. So a whole lot is happening in Africa. Okay, Africa is rising. All right, Africa is rising. Boom. So moving on, another article. Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Kumar Jugnauth wins election. So it's a very short article as well. Throw that there. It's in the description box. You can check it out. Mauritius ruling militant socialist movement MSM has won more than half of the seats in parliament, securing incumbent Prime Minister Pravind Kumar Jugnauth a 5-year term. The final election results showed on Friday. Thursday's vote was dominated by calls for fairer distribution of wealth on the prosperous Indian Ocean island of 1.3 million people, which touts itself as a bridge between Africa and Asia and has a flourishing financial sector due to tourism. Okay, they did not put that in the article. Let me share this. They did not put that in the article, but Mauritius' economy is based on tourism. All right. So if you beautify, Mr. Naja boy, thank you. You're still here. Peace. Appreciate it. So if you beautify your continent and promote tourism, okay, your economy is gonna go high. I know for a fact Ghana makes a lot of money from tourism, and especially the Europe return is very, very great investment in the tourist aspect for Ghana. So it's improved tourism and boost up Ghana's economy. So the Guinean government is doing so well. The Akufo-Addo is traveling through the Americas, the Caribbean, South America, promoting return to Ghana, the Europe return. So we're seeing these things happening, right? So yeah, Mauritius' economy is heavily on tourism, and it's a very, very beautiful place. So yeah, book your flight to Mauritius, right? Before I proceed, okay, Mauritius, I want to tell you, even though you see the Prime Minister of Mauritius of Indian descent, but what happened was the British arrived on the island in the 1500s, okay, decimated the island, but they're not going to tell you that they wiped out the indigenous people. The indigenous people on the island were Africans. and still are Africans. Till date, the Africans in Mauritius constitute about 22-23% of the population. Indians were brought to the island by the British. Similarly, the British brought Indians to East Africa, Uganda, and whatnot. All right, yeah, because the Indians made better slaves, because the Africans didn't want to be slaves, right? So what happened was the British, or the British and the French, fought many bitter wars on that small island. They killed so many of them themselves. Okay, they killed so many of themselves. But eventually, Britain seized the island, but the people, Mauritians speak English and speak French and Hindi and whatnot. So it's very interesting. I travel throughout Mauritius, and it has very diverse population. You see them, you can tell they're very mixed. And for the most part, a lot of people thought I was Mauritian, so which was good. I blended in perfectly. All right, I blended in Mauritius perfectly, and I speak a bit of French, so most people thought I was Mauritian to start with, so yeah, it was good. But yeah, I encountered this guy at work, and he was saying that he was telling somebody he actually married a Mauritian. He's Indian and married a Mauritian, and he was telling an American guy that he comes from Mauritius, and he was telling him Mauritian history, and he was saying that when the Europeans arrived, Mauritius had no native people. It was only dodo birds. They wiped out the dodo birds, and they brought Indians and Africans. And I'm like, don't you dare. I jumped out of my seat, and I'm like, don't you dare. That is a lie. You believing in white people's history. Don't believe that. Okay. How can the history, when you look at Madagascar, right? Madagascar is a population. When you look at Mauritius, there's Reunion Island and Mauritius, very close to Madagascar. Very close, only like 1,000 kilometers separating them. Okay, you cannot tell me that Africans were not in Mauritius. You cannot tell me that. That's a lie. Okay, the history of even Madagascar, you have people from the Java Islands in Australia. Okay, traveling to bloody Madagascar by boat. Okay, and you telling me they missed, they traveled to Madagascar and missed Mauritius? That's a lie. Okay, so I never believed that, and never believe any history. Okay, which Europeans tell you, and people who perpetuate lies about history always correct them. Okay, and one thing I hate the most is miseducation. And if I hear you spewing miseducation, especially about Africa, I will jump out of my seat and I'm gonna correct you. All right, so boom. And this is one of the reasons why I do this. Okay, I just can't stand miseducation. I just can't, especially on the internet and even in public. I just can't. All right, so Anna Agudana, thanks for joining me. Well, crew number 2, thank you for coming. Anna Ivanashko, thanks for joining me, family. I appreciate you. And another Russian name, crew number 3. All right, I'll call you crew number 3 from now on. All right, I appreciate you coming through. All right, boom. So yeah, okay. So that was a little history of Mauritius there, but yeah, never believed that native Africans were not in Mauritius. Okay, there are native Africans in Mauritius, and they've been there for ever. Okay, Africans were all over the globe. There's no single place on the planet that Africans didn't, habitate. Okay, or inhabited. Okay, when you see how vast the Pacific Ocean is, how vast the Pacific Ocean is, Samoa. Okay, these are African people. Okay, dark-skinned, woolly hair people in Samoa, Fiji, Tonga, Vanuatu. Okay, even bloody Hawaii. African people, black people, and they've managed to find and settle on these islands. And then you're telling me Mauritius, which is only 1,000 kilometers from the mainland in Africa, and Africans were not there. I mean, that's a lie. Get out of here, seriously. So yeah, moving on. So yeah, much of this politics about Mauritius. So yeah, the article is in the description box, so you can check it out. But yeah, but we celebrate Mauritius' new, incumbent prime minister. So check it out. Yeah. So yeah. Let's see. The challenger parties arguing that the Jugano family's rule has been marked by nepotism and corruption had appealed to voters to choose change. So foreign direct investment in Mauritius totaled 10.68 billion rupees, or which is $295 million in the first 6 months of 2019 against 1.84 billion the same period a year earlier, according to financial figures. I guess, if it's in rupees, I guess in rupees, so it's gone up, right? So it's gone up since the past year. So yeah, Africa is rising, family. Africa is rising. Mauritius expects its economy, which is dependent on tourism and financial services, to expand by 4.1% next year. Okay, so Mauritius' economy is growing at 4.1%. Ghana's economy is growing at almost 9%. Right, majority of the continent's economy is growing by 10%. So yeah, great things are happening on the continent, family. Great things are happening. All right, countries like Ghana and Nigeria have no excuse, okay, because we have tons and tons of natural resources. Mauritius has none. Right. Okay. Boom. So that's it for that article. This year and next year is a election year for African countries. So I think Guinea-Bissau also just conducted their elections. Tunisia, Algeria, they all going to have elections. So I mean, yeah, good things are happening. Malawi, Mauritania, all these people had elections this year. So what's his name again? Let me see. Mnangagwa also was voted in. Zimbabwe, bloody South Africa also had the election. I mean, so far so good. Okay, it's been peaceful. It's been very, very peaceful across Africa, minus the Congo. So a lot of work needs to be done in the Congos, but yeah, overall, Africa is becoming peaceful, which is great. It's all because of Africa's economy is rising due to investment and so on and so forth. So, Mr. McDolly, welcome to the stream, Mr. McDolly himself. All right, I appreciate you coming through. Thanks for the support, family. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna throw a curveball here. So yeah, it says Afwerki, okay, of Eritrea is blaming Qatar for meddling in African politics. So Five Crew, thanks for the support, family. Enjoy your sleep. Have a good sleep. I appreciate you. All right, I appreciate you coming through and bringing your crew. Thank you, thank you. Cocaine Kills, thank you for joining the stream. Beautiful name. Did you just subscribe to my channel? I'm new. What's up with the crew number? Well, you have to ask Mr. Niger Boy. All right, you have to ask him. Okay, those are his crews. All right, those are his crews. All right. Yeah, I thought I saw someone subscribe. So yeah, thank you for subscribing. All right, I'll check you out. In fact, let me go to your channel now and support you, family. Let me go to your channel now and give you some love. Yeah. How do I do this? Okay, cool. Go to channel. All right, I appreciate you coming through. I've seen you got some uploads here. You have stories on Colin Kaepernick. Okay, I did some story on Colin Kaepernick a few months ago, last year actually. A young Australian girl, I think she's about 10 or 11 years old, refused to stand up for the Australian national anthem because she felt that Black Australians or Aboriginal Australians were not being treated fairly in Australia. So she was the front page, okay, of the national news, and basically put a mirror in the face of Australians to look at themselves. Aboriginal Australians are being neglected and stuff like that. So Australia seems to be a very progressive country, but the elements of white supremacy still exist here. Okay, I per se, I would say that, like, Australia has done it really, really well to be like the stronghold of, or the last stand of white supremacy, because Australia is a vast continent. Okay, population is very small. Europeans are like 93% of the population, and Australia is very far from everywhere else. Okay, you can only arrive in Australia by air or by boat. Okay, by boat. So many people try and get here by boat. If you don't get intercepted on the ocean by the Navy, you will drown. Okay, you will drown. So yeah, it's really hard, but yeah. So yeah, I like the I'll check you out later. Okay, check out my archives. You see, Colin, I reported on Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, I appreciate you coming through. All right, boom. So moving on, I'm gonna share how Qatar is meddling with African politics, or interfering, okay, in African politics. So I'll take that. My email address is in the chat. If you're interested in jumping on, please feel free. Okay, so my email is in there. Okay, check me out. Okay, send me an email if you want to hop on. You're more than happy to jump on. Yeah, you're more than happy to jump on. So yeah, one of my favorite moments of every new year is Black History Month in February. So yeah, I can't wait for Black History Month. All right, I'll bring you so much history. Okay, so much history about Black people, African people, and stuff. This is what I love to do. All right, so boom. So here, Eritrea says, or Eritrea, whichever way you want to call it, Eritrea, call it. Eritrea, another one from African News. Okay, Eritrea says Qatar using Sudan for destabilization agenda, and they're doing the same in Libya. Okay, so is a Qatari prince or whatever. Okay, these people are not Arabians. Okay, these people are Turkish. Okay, the Arabian royal family are Turkish people. They're not Africans. All right. If you want to know African Arabians, they look like him. Okay, original Arabians look like him. Isias Afwerki from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, they were original Arabians. All right, not these people. These guys are Turkish, Europeans. Okay, descendants of Assyrians who invaded Egypt. Okay, here they are. Right. So yeah. So Eritrean government has leveled. I mean, how can you live? How can you live in Qatar and look like this? You can't. That's not their native origin. You gotta be dark skinned to live in Qatar because it's very hot. All right. This is the more reason why they even wear clothing like this, so they don't get sunburned. Okay. But yeah, Africans don't wear clothes like this. We're kissed by the sun. Look at us. Okay. So I mean, these people, you can tell definitely that they're not native there. Anyway, moving on. So Eritrean government has leveled destabilization claims against Qatar, saying the Gulf nation was through an elaborate scheme using Sudan as its springboard. Okay, so in November 28, 2019 statement from Eritrean Ministry of Information said Qatari government was developing religious, political, and guerrilla tactics to achieve its aim of destabilizing Eritrea. The current development is the latest round of accusations that Asmara is throwing at Doha. Eritrea has also in the past jabbed that the Doha-based Al Jazeera news outlet for biased and unprofessional reportage on the country. So if you know the history of Libya, how Libya fell, okay, Al Jazeera promoted a lot of you know, a lot of misgivings or a lot of bad reports about Muammar Gaddafi, a lot of propaganda about Muammar Gaddafi and topple Muammar Gaddafi's government. Okay, it was Al Jazeera that did that. Right, Al Jazeera did that. Okay, and Al Jazeera is based in Doha in Qatar. So yeah, there. So the 10-point scheme of subversion that Qatar has mapped out consists of the scheme also includes fueling ethnic clashes in ports of Sudan. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So it's always been a tool of white supremacy that uh, they feed into the division in Africa. Okay, the ethnic tribes division in Africa. Okay, and pin tribes against one another. Okay, this has always been the tactic in the toolbox. Okay, of the European or the invaders of Africa for a very long time. Okay, so this is the more reason why we need to integrate and unite as African people. We can't. We have no choice. We just have to unite. All right. So moving on to regroup Eritrean opposition political leaders, unify their associations, and extend requisite support to the latter. Okay. To give special focus to Eritrean youth, unify their associations, and incite them to engage in acts of rebellion against the Eritrean government, to instill religious extremism on Eritrean Islamist opposition elements, and thereby induce an uprising of Eritrean Muslims against their compatriots. To sow the seeds of ethnic cleavage and hatred among the Eritrean people, to launch efforts to induce protests and demonstrations in Eritrean cities against the government, to give military training in the Sudan to Muslim Brotherhood opposition elements in the planting of landmines, ambushes, and assassination of prominent government officials, to facilitate their infiltration into Eritrea to conduct these operations. Okay, so coming out of Sudan, right? And if you know your geography, all these countries share borders. Okay, Sudan, Eritrea, Djibouti, Somalia, Kenya. Okay, that's where the troubled hotspot is in Africa. So to assassinate influential Eritrean leaders, to conduct acts of economic sabotage in Eritrea, to intensify hostile propaganda, to publicize human rights violations in Eritrea in international organizations and foreign countries, to disseminate documents and videos to that effect. Okay, so the ministry said the points raised were in brief and skeletal form. Asmara holds, however, that Qatar and its unnamed sponsors and minions continue to see their chances of success growing slimmer. Okay, the sponsors of Qatar is United States. All right, you can see where they function. Okay, you see them functioning in Libya. Okay, the UN is supported by Qatar. Okay, and the UN is funded by the United States of America. Okay, so I mean, this is a no-brainer. You can see it. Okay, you don't need rocket science to work this out, right? You don't need it. All right, so boom. That article is done. Moving on to a very, very interesting one. Okay, Benin sacks EU envoy for meddling in domestic affairs. So this is a very interesting one to share as well. If you've sent me an email, please let me know in the comment. Okay, let me know if you've sent me an email. I'll be more than happy to let you on. Okay. Yeah, so I do have another 25 minutes and I should be done. All right. So Benin sacks EU envoy for meddling in domestic affairs. Let's see, I've got an email. Who is here? Kelly Michelle, okay, you're requesting the link. I'll give you the link in a minute. I'll give you the link. All right, all right. All right. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. I have sent you the link, family. Miss Kelly, okay. Join me, beautiful sister. Come join me. All right. Let me know when you're here. All right. Let me know when you're here. All right. So yes. So yeah, I'll go on. I'll go on with this article whilst I wait for you to jump on. So Benin, okay. Benin sacks EU envoy, okay. And a few weeks ago, Nigeria also sacked the NGOs from northern Nigeria for supporting Boko Haram and aiding Boko Haram and giving them medical aid and food and stuff like that. I mean, who does that? Who does that? So yeah, I mean, these people. All right. White people. White people. Why did they do that? So from Benin, Abdur Rahman Alfan Shaban. So I've read several articles from this fella here before. So yeah. So Benin has ordered European Union's ambassador to the country to leave, citing political interference. A statement from the president's office confirmed on Wednesday. So boom. So you can see that Benin announced that they were going to stop using the CFA currency. Okay. So then they started meddling. Okay. Okay, so we already seen it. There's been so many fears that we're going to be seeing assassination attempts and so on and so forth. So the eyes are peeled. Okay, the eyes are really open, looking out for these kind of things. So yeah, any suspicion, okay, you'll be out. So I'm very happy they're kicking them out now. So yeah, boom. So Benin has ordered the European Union's ambassador to the country to leave, citing political interference. A statement from the president's office confirmed on Wednesday. The statement described Ambassador Oliver Net as harmful. Harmful. Okay, I should have put that. Hashtag harmful. Whilst reiterating that the West African country had nothing against the European Union. He has interfered too much in domestic affairs and enormous government official told the AFP news agency as saying he constantly calls on civil society to protest against the government. See what's happening. This is how African governments are toppled. Okay, European interference. Why did we even allow them in the first place? So boom. Okay, Benin is not the only African country to go down the path of expelling meddlesome diplomats. Rwanda, okay, so this year I reported on that. Rwanda expelled, I think the American, is it American? Oh, it has to be the American envoy, okay, it was also expelled for calling or inciting opposition against the president or demanding that the vote should be recounted and stuff like that, and causing a whole lot of chaos during the Malawian bloody elections. So Rwanda expelled the German ambassador in March 2019. Somalia sacked UN envoy over interference with sovereignty. DRC ordered EU envoy to leave in December 2018. And mind you, the UN envoy was caught with diamonds and minerals, smuggling diamonds and minerals out of Africa. So Burundi closed UN offices in the country. So this is good news. So African nations expel rogue diplomats. Here are some reasons. Diplomats and the Vienna Convention. Let me check if my sister is here yet. Aha, she's here. Yay.
Hello. Hello.
So yeah, welcome to the stream, family. Let me get my headset. Okay. One moment. Yeah, what's good, family?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Welcome to my stream, sister. DJ Moss, yeah, you're here. Welcome to the stream. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very excited to have you on. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you as well. I just wanted to actually hop on and say
Yeah.
hello. I didn't want you to think I was a Russian bot or anything like that. I'm a real person,
Nah.
so
Oh,
um
good. Oh, good. I wish everyone was like you. I wish everyone has the heart of Miss Kelly here. Okay. Yeah. So
well, because I will tell you that I'm just here to learn. So, it's
right.
not that much I can chime in on with this, but
Nah, you grow on me. Okay, you will grow on me. So yeah, every I affect a lot of people. So yeah. So
okay.
yeah, you will learn, and soon you're interacting with me. So I cause
Okay.
people to think twice and cause them to learn. So you will
Well,
soon
good.
be, yeah, you will soon learn a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I appreciate you coming through. Yeah. Anything else
hmm
you want to say?
That's it. I'll just go on mute and I'll just listen.
Yeah, okay, cool. Do you want to say anything about Colin Kaepernick? You have a video on him?
Um. Oh wow. Um.
I know he was meant to play his do his training or something, and he didn't show, or he changed the venue or something like that. So
Well, yeah. Uh. There's a lot involved with him changing the venue and so forth. I mean, it looks like that there was some contract language that caused him to not choose that particular venue, and
mm,
there was something else I can't remember now.
mm,
But like I said, there's some contract language and things that were added that were not there before, and but I've since kind of changed my mind about calling Kaepernick. So
right. But what was your
yeah.
view about Colin Kaepernick before?
Well, I thought that he was championing
Not
for
black
the
enough?
no
Did
no
you
no no
think not
no
black
no.
enough because he's dating an Iranian girl?
Oh no, I don't care who you
No?
date.
Right. Oh,
No, I'm not. I
that's
mean
my
that.
word. You took the words out of my mouth there. This is what I say. So
Okay, no, it doesn't matter about no,
yeah.
him as an individual and what he was
Mm,
fighting for, I thought he was on the right side of the fence, but
mm,
um now I kind of have taken a step back and kind of looked at things a little differently based
mm.
on how he conducted himself during that um audition or
Training.
whatever it
Yes.
was,
Yeah.
tryout or whatever.
Yeah.
Um
Mm.
and now I'm just thinking that he really doesn't want to play.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't go play. No,
No, I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't.
either.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't tarnish my reputation to go play on the field. I mean, look at what they refer to us, black people as, shut up and dribble. Like, what the hell? That's what they told LeBron James,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's
I mean,
true. And he
I
had to
wouldn't compete still
apologize.
playing basketball then. Did she apologize?
Yeah, he had to apologize.
Oh,
What
she, you
is his
mean?
name? No, LeBron.
LeBron had to
Something he
apologize?
said. Something he said a while back, and he had to apologize for it. But it just kind of shows that
Hmm.
he's trying to fight
He's not in
against.
control.
Right,
He's a puppet.
right. Yeah. So.
And this is sad. I mean, LeBron he has enough money to go to Africa and start his own basketball team or
hmm
league, or even
hmm
in the United States, he could start his own league.
Yeah, he
He
can.
wanted to buy Manchester United. No, not Manchester United, Liverpool.
Wow.
So why can't
Yeah.
he use the money to do something better for his people? But trying to be equal with white people. I mean, it doesn't work. So
Yeah, but there's a major conflict. I think, when you have a passion of playing
mm,
basketball
mm,
and then, doing what's right and fighting for civil rights and so forth. I mean, you kind of
mm,
there's a priority list that you kind of have to um identify what's most
mm.
important, and
Yeah,
sometimes you get compromised in doing that.
mm,
But I agree with you. He does have enough money to do
yeah,
whatever he wants to do.
yeah. And the fact that he's playing for a team that is owned by a white person, I mean, come on, come on.
That's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
it just makes, it's so cringeworthy. So, I mean, he's capable of starting his own thing, you know. So,
Right.
what do you
Yeah.
think about, yeah, what do you think
Hmm.
about Pan-Africanism and bridging the gap between African Americans and Africans? And by the way, my dad is
Oh.
African American and my mom is African. So, but I did my DNA test. I am African American, but I am 99.9% African. So
Well, I haven't done mine and I'm scared.
yeah, I'll give it a go. It's all for fun. Okay. It gives
Yeah.
you a better perspective. So what do you think about the year of return and everything? Okay. To Ghana. Ghana just gave 100 citizenship to African Americans. What do you think of that?
Just 100?
Oh, more. They just had a ceremony and gave 100, but in the past year they gave several of them. I think 200 in the past, and then before this recent one too. So I think
Mm,
all in
I,
all, I think 400.
I'll have to see how many Americans are there versus, like, I kind of have to see the data
Mm.
behind,
Let,
what
let
that
me tell let me
percentage.
tell you something.
Hmm.
African Americans have been going to Ghana for a long time, and in Ethiopia,
Hmm.
the Battle of Ottawa, I think the Battle of Ottawa, where Italy tried to colonize Ethiopia, and
Hmm.
yeah, African Americans came in to fight the Italians. There was I forgot his name. There was this African American World War I pilot who had his own air school and stuff like that, like flight aviation school, trained pilots and stuff, and sent his colleagues to fight the Italians, and defeat the Italians. So the Emperor Haile Selassie gave them a land, money in Ethiopia. So African Americans have been living in Ethiopia since like over more than 100 years.
I
Similarly
know.
in Ghana, yeah, in Ghana too. I mean, with Marcus Garvey and W.E.D. Boys. Come on,
Hmm.
yeah, it's W.E.D.
W-E.
Boys. Yeah,
W-E. Hmm.
W.E.D. Boys. He died in Ghana. He lived in Ghana, died in Ghana, and he has a memorial in his name or a museum in his name in Ghana. So African Americans have been going to the continent for a long time.
I know.
And also the African Americans that founded Liberia during the Civil War. A lot of them migrated through into the continent and into Ghana, primarily in Ghana and stuff like that. And even speculated Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is not even of Ghanaian origin; he's of Liberian origin.
I think I read that.
So you've seen it before, right? So I mean,
Hmm.
currently, word on the ground in Ghana, there are over 80,000 African Americans in Ghana. But the
See.
situation in Ghana is you go to Ghana, you look like a Ghanaian, you look like an African. Nobody's going to ask you, where are your passports? Where are your visas? Are you overstayed your visa? Nobody's going to ask you. So a lot of the African Americans don't even bother getting citizenship.
Oh, yeah.
They
Okay.
just live there.
Okay. Well, I can,
Yeah.
I can say that was good that they, granted, what was it, over 400, you said?
I'm speculating, but it would be about because there was a whole batch of them that came, I think thousands of them, the first initial call of the year of return. I think last year or in January, I think in January, there was like 1,000 African Americans that showed up, and a whole lot of them got citizenship on arrival.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
great.
wish that, the numbers would be a little bit higher if you're talking about 80,000. But I understand that, African Americans don't bother applying, so you have to apply in order to get
That's right.
citizenship. So,
That's right.
yeah, so I understand that part too.
There was this gentleman by the name Amen Ra. He's been living in Kenya for 20 years, not a Kenyan citizen. Why? He can't apply. He doesn't want to apply. But he has children. He believes his children will be citizens, or his children are citizens in Kenya. So, these are some of the factors. Do they really want to be citizens in Africa? Those who really want to be citizens in Africa want to participate in the political, environment, or, affect the politics. So, because you got to be a citizen to vote and stuff like that. So this is why some of them, those that are astute enough want to, acquire citizenship so they can, participate in the politics of the country. So,
so where are you located?
I am in Melbourne. My nationality is Australian. So, my family is a very it's a traveling family. So I do not hold any true nationality anywhere, but my current nationality is Australian. So I am African American, Ghanaian, and everything. But yeah. So Australia, Melbourne, Australia.
Cool. Okay.
And I've been living here since I was a kid, almost 20 years now. So I am Aussie true and true. But yeah, I would love to come live in the US for a while, but we'll see. Those are future aspirations. So.
Okay. Well, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt what you were doing, though.
No, I love it. This is why I'm here. So to interact, half the time, I'm happy teaching, and people are happy, learning, and people don't interact much. But I do occasionally. I do have some people come in the chat and interact, and a few guys hop on. But anyone is welcome to hop on and interact with me anytime. So this is what it's all about. This is what my channel is all about. So yeah.
Okay.
So I'm very excited from the jump. You wanted to hop on and talk. So yeah, it's beautiful. I like it.
Well,
I love it.
Well, thank you.
What time is it here? 7:53 p.m. Friday.
PM.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we are a day. What part of the state are you from?
Houston, or state, Texas.
Texas, okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. If you were on the West Coast, you'd be like almost a day behind. So you're like 14 hours behind us.
Wow.
Yeah. So we in the future.
I know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, very. All right. So yeah, I guess it's late there. So yeah, you are excused to go to bed if you want to. You can always catch us on there.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I just wanted to actually say hello to you, and
namaste. I appreciate it.
And I was just gonna listen to the news. You were telling us what was going on. So.
All right, I appreciate you. Well, if you stick around for another 10-15 minutes, I should wrap it up. So I'm going to read about how so I was reading about how I think a couple of weeks ago, Benin, the whole saga of the epic colonizer in Africa, the French.
Yes.
How France is colonizing Africa. So the stronghold is too tight. Okay, and you see this form of resistance in the form of like Boko Haram and the Fulani resistance, and now we have Libya being destabilized. You have the ISIS fighters coming into the Sahel region fighting the French, primarily to get rid of the French and that. So Africa is finding strategies to bypass the French because they know they cannot do away with the French colonialism. So they wanted to develop their own currency, which is the eco, which they have actually. And they said they were going to roll it out in January next year, 2020. So Benin has gone ahead. A couple of weeks ago, the French president has stated that they're going to stop using the CFA franc, the French currency. And in the past, France has been known for assassinating African presidents. So, but these days, because of the media and the international eyes, now everybody can see it because of the internet as well. We can all see it. They can't do that easily. So what they do is they meddle and interfere in the politics of the countries, or they pay puppets, okay, to overthrow the government so they could continue raping Africa. So this is what has happened. Okay, so the Benin president, this is what I was reading, has called out the European Union for welcome to the stream, brother Dunibian. So peace, Black Power, boom. So the Benin sacks EU envoy for meddling in the domestic affairs. Okay, so you can see this is happening after Benin said they were going to do away with the CFA franc. So now the EU envoy is inciting protest against the government. So you see what's happening. Next thing you realize, there's a coup d'etat in the country, and either the president gets killed or the president gets ousted, and then France continues to dominate the country, and then everyone will be baffled and be surprised what's happened. But we're watching.
Yeah,
we're watching. All right, so I appreciate it if you continue listening. I'll just go back to the articles, and this one is nearly done. So moving on with the article, it says African nations expel rogue diplomats. Here are some reasons. So it's going to outline reasons why this expulsion is happening. So if you already caught that bit. Okay, so these people have already been expelled from Africa for meddling, right? So Rwanda expelled German ambassador in March 2019. Somalia sacked UN envoy over interference with sovereignty. DRC ordered European Union envoy to leave in December 2018. Burundi closed UN offices in the country, and I know Nigeria also sacked the NGOs because they were supporting Boko Haram. Can you believe that? They were supporting Boko Haram and crazy. Giving food and medicine to Boko Haram fighters. I mean, hell, it's so absurd, right?
Yeah.
So, so here, diplomats and the Vienna Convention. So diplomats are often granted certain privileges and immunities to ensure they may effectively carry out their duties, and also allow for maintenance of government relations, including during periods of difficulties and armed conflict. Okay, while diplomats may not be prosecuted by the host countries, they can be ordered to leave, often within a short period of time. Article 9 of the Vienna Convention says the host country can declare any member of the foreign diplomatic staff as persona non grata and require them to be removed. This can be done by a state at any time and without having to explain its decision, it adds. So Dr. Kwame Nkrumah actually did that to the British, to the Americans and stuff. And they went behind him, and the Americans overthrew Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So that's some side history there of all the meddling that happened in Africa since the independence movement in the 60s, leading to the current affairs in Africa right now. Yeah. So that's about it. I've reported several times on the gay agenda. Okay, they're pushing homosexuality in Africa. Africans are not on board with that. Okay, gay people are not hated by Africans. Okay, gay people have always existed everywhere else. Okay, but it's not customary for Africans to practice homosexuality. It's frowned upon because it does not give life. Right. The African believes in family. The African believes in the continuation of life. Homosexuality doesn't do that. You see, so this is why the African frowns on it, and it does not encourage it in its society. So that's why even when you look at the Egyptian text, okay, before you even go to heaven, okay, you must have not slept with a man. Okay, it's in there on the walls of Egypt before before you go to heaven. Okay, in the African spiritual afterlife, okay, you have not laid with man or with a man. And that was part of the 10 commandments that so-called Moses got, but they took that bit out. Was I think the 62 negative confessions of my heart, I think, but actually not even 62. I think there were over 100, which only 10 of them ended up in the Bible. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet your neighbor's wife, and blah, 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 were all Egyptian laws, African laws. Yeah. So this final article, I'm not going to read all of it. 47 Nigerians plead innocent to homosexuality charge in 2018 case. Okay, so I heard about they being arrested, but there's a development on that. Okay, so 47 Nigerian men pleaded innocent on Wednesday to a charge of public displays of affection with members of the same sex, an offense that carries a 10-year jail term. Homosexuality is outlawed in many socially conservative African societies, where some religious groups brand it a corrupting Western import. Okay, so yeah, it's not an African culture. Okay, homosexuality exists, but it's not a culture. It's not out there. Okay,
right.
You can do your stuff in your bedroom. Nobody cares, but don't bring it out in public because it pollutes people's minds.
That's true.
Yeah, it disrupts society's norms. You can't have that. You see, it's confusion.
It is confusion. It is.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the United States, they pretty much do whatever they're big enough to do, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, two men walking down the street holding hands is acceptable, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen it here in Australia. Two men. One of my union leaders when I was back at university, one of my union members tried to hit on me. He's a twin. He invited me for a table talk, and he was telling me about his sexuality, and I'm like, I didn't come here for you to tell me about your sexuality, you know. And
so
did you invite me?
On you?
Yeah, kind of like he was hitting on me.
Oh my
God. Yeah, I'm like, nah. Since then, that was the last time I went to the, I attended the union meeting. But they were fighting for a good cause, though. But that disgusted me. With all sincere apologies to gay people out there, but nah, it's not my thing.
Right, right.
I'm a ladies' man. All right.
Well, that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I am happy to. I'm very very excited that you were on here. Happy to interact. Hope to see more of you on whenever I'm live. So this is going to be my permanent time of coming on now, between 5 p.m. Australian time and now. So yeah, whenever I show up, yeah. Not every day. At least I try to be on 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, rarely come on the weekend. I might upload 1 or 2 things, but yeah, make sure you hit the notification bell whenever I'm on. And you've got my email, so you can always reach me on my email. Subscribe to my Instagram. Is the same thing, the same moniker, Chiefdryno. So yeah, Chiefdryno. Find me on Instagram, Chiefdryno, and yeah, let's get linking.
All right. Well, good. Well, thank you for having me on the panel. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I will definitely be back. I just kept missing you. I got the notification. I just was, I think, a little late or something. I don't know. The last few times you've been live over the course of the days.
Oh, right. Okay.
So,
all right. Cool.
It was definitely a pleasure.
Yeah. Pleasure.
All right. Well, you have a good one.
You too. You too, beautiful sister. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Peace, family. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate all of you for coming through. I hope you all enjoy my guest. Okay. Everyone subscribe to Cocaine. Cocaine Kells, right? Meaning she's dope, right? Cocaine Kells, meaning she's dope. All right, she's very, very beautiful. So yeah, check her out, family. Check her out. All right, Cocaine Kells, check her out. Let me put her link to her channel in the copy link. Let me put a link to her channel in the description box. Okay, so you guys check her out. Okay, subscribe to her channel and help her channel grow. All right, this is what we do. All right, family. Okay, until next time. Okay, peace out. Should be back here to talk more about how democracy collapsed in Ghana. Okay, it's going to shed more light on more meddling by Europeans as well. Okay, and also let me share this. So yeah, this is by GhanaWeb.com, how democracy collapsed Ghana. Okay, so I'm going to share that next week, and also opinions. So there's a portion of Ghana called the Volta Togoland. So this Togo was, if you can see the map of Ghana, Togo was colonized by the Germany. Okay, this is the portion where my mother comes from. So no wonder, if I do have some German ancestry, it's probably coming from here. But this is where my mom's family come from in Ghana, and this part was originally part of the Togoland, and was annexed. Okay, it was annexed to Ghana in the 1960s. Okay, so there's been separatist movements to separate from Ghana, but yeah, it's not going to happen. Okay, we want regional integration. I want division on the continent. So it's going backwards. All right, it's going backwards. So next week I'm going to talk about that as well. So yeah. All right, family. Peace. Until next time. Okay, I appreciate all of you. All right. Black. Okay. Black Pan-African power. All right. Black Pan-African power. Okay. Unity. Okay. We can do everything. All right. It's only unity. Okay. That can take us there. All right. To put us on a world stage, global stage. Okay. Egypt did not become a global power on its own. Okay. Egypt. Okay. Or Kemet was a conglomerate of all African tribes. All right, get that straight. Okay, my DNA test result proves that I am descendant of Ramesses III. All right, so I mean, we are family. All right, so let us unite. Okay, all right. It's only in unity that we can achieve anything meaningful. Okay. It will become powerful. All right, family. Until next time, peace. Love one another. One love. Peace.